of the end, a place where there were always battles that defined the destiny of the world. It was where Hashirama Senju defeated and killed Madara Uchiha. It was the place where the Kyuubi no Yoko was first sealed in an Uzumaki. Unknown to the current world was where Hagoromo and Himura Otsutsuki sealed their mother Kagaya Otsutsuki on the moon. Another battle is currently taking place where the fate of the shinobi world will be decided. Everything will be decided by the Genin, Naruto Uzumaki, and Sasuke Uchiha from the inhabitants of Konohagakure no Sato. Both Genin were teammates under the tutelage of the copy ninja, Kakashi of the Sharingan, a ninja known for copying 1,000 jutsus, although he only used 3, and his mantra was, "He who breaks the rules is considered scum, but worse is he who abandons his friends." But why would two teammates be locked in a battle to the death? Easy, the reason is power. Sasuke Uchiha wanted power to avenge his clan who was killed by Uchiha Itachi, his older brother. He wanted the power that Orochimaru the Snake Sannin was offering him. Through the curse mark, he did not care that later he would have to give up his body, even his own soul, in exchange for obtaining his revenge. On the other hand, Naruto Uzumaki was there to bring him back to Konoha, because it was an order given by Tsunade Senju, the 5th Hokage. And also out of his own desire, he did not want to lose a friend. He lived a lonely childhood because he was the current Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Because of that, he clung to the slightest possibility of recovering his friend, but he was losing hope. Sasuke was using the power of the cursed mark in his phase 2, where he looked like an amorphous bat, with 2 wings on his back that were shaped like hands, long ash-black hair and skin of the same color, and that was what he carried. Himself to use the power of the Kyuubi, but even so he hoped that it was not too late. "Why don't you get tired of annoying in Naruto?" I would express anger. "Hey Naruto, I can never do this all day," Naruto would say, smiling defiantly. Sasuke only became even more upset with Naruto, that nobody, the era of the class, dared to challenge him to the best in the class. At first it seemed fun and even a little interesting as Naruto tried to reach it, then it seemed like a good challenge when they were in Team 7, which pushed him to improve. But then he lost his grace when Naruto really started to catch up with him. First he saved him in Nami's mission, he confronted Kiba's Inuzuka Mutt and defeated him. That lit the flame of competition in the... But I don't know how it stopped there. It continued and continued to grow, eventually defeating Neji Hyuga, the prodigy of the said clan, and defeating Sabaku no Gaara, that girl that he was not able to defeat, and it all ended when even his older brother preferred to go after Naruto instead of facing him, and when he finally has it in front of him, he humiliates him with great ease. He wanted to kill Naruto, to become as strong, if not stronger than him. So determined to end his life, he does the Chidori, the technique that his sensei taught him, only that unlike the normal Chidori, which was blue, this one was black due to the influence of the cursed seal. Naruto, seeing that Sasuke prepared his jutsu, he did the same and prepared his Rasengan, which due to the influence of the Kyuubi had a purple color. Thus both of them launched themselves at each other, clashing attacks. At first they were even, until Sasuke imbued even more power to kill Naruto. When he realized the Uchiha's intentions, he was saddened to the depths of his soul, and finally accepted that he was no longer fighting with Uchiha Sasuke, his teammate, if not with Uchiha Sasuke the traitor. Up to this point his desire for revenge had plunged him into darkness. So by doing the same he imbued more power into his Rasengan, because he was going to defeat him and bring him to the village to be judged for his crimes. Thus, the two determined to defeat the other went with all the power they had in their attacks, thus creating a dome of light, giving way to an explosion that destroyed the statues of Madara and Hashirama. When the light faded, you could still see the two young people tired and exhausted, but still wanting to fight, and Sasuke, already with his Chidori at hand, launched himself towards Naruto to finally kill him. Naruto, who never had the best chakra control, tried to perform a Rasengan, but due to his fatigue it fell apart in his hand. Every second Sasuke got closer and closer until he was almost in front of him, with his attack aimed at his heart. The memory of a talk he had with Ero Sennin about the Rasengan came to him. Flashback. When they were still traveling back with Tsunade to Konoha, Naruto could be seen with a Rasengan in his hand, as they were on the road. The strangest thing is that he was silent and staring at the Rasengan. until Jiraiya interrupted him from his reflection. Boy, I know you want to show off your technique, but if you do it in front of us, it's not funny. The Sannin of the Toads would say funny. Screw you, Ero Sennin. I wasn't bragging at all. I'm thinking. Naruto would express it frustrated. So? And what are you thinking about? On how the Rasengan works and its true potential. Do you mean to evolve it? No, I mean how to master it more. I know it's chakra and constant rotation, right? Exactly, I would say this time. The Sannin was even more bewildered as to where Naruto was going with this. And you only need to make that constant rotation at a specific point on your hand. True. It's not as easy as you say, Naruto. Even being a doctor, I'm not able to master the Rasengan without some training. Tsunade, the other Sannin of the group, would speak this time. I know it's not easy, but I mean if he expressed it like that, it doesn't seem easy. Just rotate your chakra in a single point and shape it into a sphere. True. If you put it like that, it sounds easy. Jiraiya increasingly curious where Naruto was going. But what if it wasn't just in a single point? That made the three adults and the pig accompanying Naruto remain silent, analyzing what Naruto meant. Could you explain better, Naruto-kun? Of course, Shizen-ichan. Controlling or expanding the chakra rotation even further, but not in a single point, but throughout the body, for example, rotating the entire chakra in your arm. Same as the Hyuga's celestial rotation, only more concentrated, and instead of defending, attacking with... Once again, everyone remained silent, analyzing the idea that Naruto had. It didn't sound like a bad idea, that in Shizen's mind. And Jiraiya, on the other hand, Tsunade immediately denied. Absolutely not. That would be very dangerous. You would have to saturate that part of the body too much with chakra, and not only that, but also rotate it, hurting that limb even more. There is a risk of not only failing, but also losing the limb due to collateral damage. Unless you have a bijou to regenerate you, Naruto would definitely say. True, that could reduce the risk of losing the limb, but promise Naruto that you will never try that idea, unless it is strictly necessary. I promise, Bachan. You fucking brat, come here. Don't call me Bachan. Thus Tsunade began to chase Naruto to beat him up. Shizune and Tonton began to laugh at the scene, but Jiraiya remained serious. He always believed that Naruto was a knucklehead. But with that idea he had with the Rasengan, something that not even his father Minato, the creator of the technique, had, makes him finally realize that Naruto, despite popular belief, is a prodigy in a certain way, because he could see the potential of something as simple as a simple rotation. Fin flashback. I hope and forgive Tsunade Bachan, but this counts as strictly necessary. QB, I know that you listen to me, and in a certain way you know what my idea is. That's why I ask you to help me heal the damage of the attack that I plan to do. In exchange, I promise to defeat the Uchiha in your honor. Those were Naruto's thoughts, before carrying out his idea. Just when Sasuke was about to hit his chest with the Chidori again, Naruto turned to the opposite side and charged his right arm with chakra, to the point that anyone even without Dojutsu could see it, and then rotated it in all directions. Thus was born one of the abilities that would make Naruto known in the future, called Golden Ratio, thus directly impacting Sasuke in the solar plexus, causing him to spit blood and be thrown against some rocks, falling unconscious, because the blow felt like a smaller Rasengan, but concentrated in that area. But at the same time Naruto fell to his knees, he was tired. He had to chase Sasuke for several hours, have his chakra stolen, have small confrontations with Orochimaru's soldiers, and finally face Sasuke at full power. He felt tired. He couldn't move anymore and his right arm hurt like shit. Although the Kyuubi's red chakra was healing him, it did not take away the stinging pain he had in his right arm. At this moment he wondered if it would have been better to have it torn off, but that did not matter to him. But if he was worried about something, sure, both options will hurt like a bitch. But he still had to finish the mission and take Sasuke to the village. So, taking all the energy he had left and ignoring the pain he felt in his arm, he put Sasuke on his back and began his way towards Konoha. Kakashi Hatake considers himself a failure. It is true that he is considered an elite shinobi, a prodigy at the level of his sensei Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash, Uchiha Itachi, the assassin of the Uchiha clan, and his own father Tsukumo Hatake, the White Fang. But for him those flattery were useless. What good was it to have all the power in the world if you are not able to be there for the people you care about? First his father, It is true that while alive he never treated him badly, but after his suicide, he hated him with all his soul for a long time, swearing never to look like him. Second and third were Rin and Obito. She couldn't save either of them. Even though Rin promised to take care of her, he still carries the weight of murdering her to this day, and not being able to save Obito from dying under that stone either. Fourth and fifth were Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, his sensei and wife, those who took care of him almost like a son and helped him overcome part of his depression. Even so, he was not able to be with them in their last moments. And his sixth failure was Naruto, the son of his second parental figure, the one he had to take care of as if he were his younger brother. But what did he do? Neglecting him and even abandoning him. It is true that he was not suitable to adopt him, but he was able to spend more time with him, try to help him in the academy, or just be there with him. But he sank into self-criticism and self-loathing and was unable to take care of it. And for him, Naruto represents his greatest sin, his cardinal sin. Abandon his younger brother. But that was not impossible now, if not finding his younger brother and his renegade student, another failure on his list. Pakken, how much longer? Not much, Kakashi. I'm feeling that we are getting closer to the smell. Wait, not only that, the smell is getting closer to us too. With that information in mind, Kakashi and Pakken accelerated their pace to get to Naruto and Sasuke faster, until he could finally see Naruto carrying Sasuke on his back. Naruto looked like he could fall at any moment. Thus he reached where Naruto was and touched his shoulder, causing him to finally fall exhausted, since the only thing that kept him standing was his pure will. Kakashi with his speed quickly grabbed Naruto and Sasuke, calling the medic Nin, who quickly arrived where they were and took Sasuke away because Kakashi wanted to take Naruto. Mission accomplished, Kaka-sensei. Yes, Naruto. Mission accomplished. Rest. And Kakashi has a strong will. He couldn't take it anymore, and yet he was willing to take him to the village. The truth is, I doubt that even Guy would be capable of that, Pakken would say, amazed by the boy's resistance. Pakken, you can go rest. I will keep you informed if something happens to Naruto. Okay, Kakashi. See you later, thus disappearing in a cloud of smoke. But Pakken is right. You are undoubtedly unique, Naruto, not only because of the Kyuubi, but also because of yourself. Konohagakure no Sato, the strongest shinobi village, was a beautiful town, surrounded by forests that, according to myth, were created by Hashirama Senju, the Shodaime Hokage. But right now we have to focus on the south gates of the village, where a girl with pink hair was looking towards the forest as if waiting for something or someone. This girl is Sakura Haruno, a genin under the tutelage of Kakashi, member of Team 7, teammate of Sasuke and Naruto. She was worried about her two companions, mostly about the Uchiha, because she believes that he is being manipulated by Orochimaru and hopes that Naruto can bring him back home. But all that worry disappeared when he saw Sasuke being brought in by some medic Nin. He looked a little beaten up, but nothing serious. When she was about to sigh calmly, she saw how Kakashi was carrying Naruto in his arms, with his clothes torn and covered in blood. He could only put his hands on his mouth to stop himself from screaming. Surely he cares more about Sasuke, but he can't let that go either. What happened to Naruto? But he didn't have time to finish reflecting because, just like the medic Nin, Kakashi ran past him, directly towards the Konoha Hospital. Konoha Hospital under her. Currently in a hallway are Shikamaru Nara, Chunin of Konoha and the leader of the recovery team. And accompanying him is Sabaku no Temari, a Chunin from Sunagakure. He was worried and scared for his teammates. Apart from him who has a broken finger, the rest of his team had arrived with fatal injuries. All the calm that was in the hallway disappeared when they first carried Sasuke Uchiha on a stretcher. He could only look at him with hatred. It was his fault that his companions were fighting for their lives. But all that hatred turned into concern because now it was Naruto who was passing by on the stretcher. Operating room. In this room was Tsunade Senju, the last Senju, the best medic Nin in the world and the fifth Hokage. Accompanying her is Shizen Kato, her apprentice. The two were operating on Naruto Uzumaki because he has many giant wounds that put his life at risk. But thanks to them both, they were closing and scarring. That calmed them more. They had managed to save him. But Tsunade noticed something else. His right arm, despite being externally fine, had atrocious internal damage. She is surprised that it has not yet healed. His arm has fallen. But what kind of jutsu can cause this internal damage to its own user? Until the talk of that day came back to her. Naruto, you seriously ran out of options, no? It was risk or die. That line of thought only made Tsunade angry against the Uchiha. I swear to you, Naruto, that I will give an exemplary punishment to that shitty brat. But for today, res. 3 days later under her. Inside a room in the hospital, Naruto was lying down with bandages covering almost his entire body. He was reflecting on the recovery mission and its outcome. I don't know if I was happy at this moment. Everyone apart from Shikamaru arrived at the gates of death, including himself. Naruto didn't know the word hate, or more specifically feeling hate. But at this moment he felt hatred towards his teammate. Because it was his fault that everyone was like this, he chose to go with Orochimaru. It is true that according to what Kakashi-sensei explained, it was that the brand acted as a drug that asked the user to use it more and more. But that was bullshit. You don't fall for drugs that easily. He knew a lot about that. Growing up in the red light district allowed him to be exposed to that. To drugs, their sellers and consumers. He once tried to eliminate drugs in the neighborhood. But it was useless. As long as there are people who want the merchandise, there will always be those willing to sell it without caring about the well-being of others. Naruto had seen the dark side of society and lived with it, and he didn't like it. All that reflection was interrupted when Jiraiya appeared through the door. Well done, boy. You managed to bring your teammate. At least in that you surpass me, Jiraiya would try to joke to lighten the atmosphere a little. No, was Naruto's simple but forceful response. No. If I didn't make it, then I didn't bring Sasuke Uchiha, the emo of Team 7. But I brought back Sasuke Uchiha, the traitor of the village. Jiraiya lost the smile he had on his face and put on a serious face, because what his student said had a dark meaning behind it. Naruto no longer considers Sasuke a companion, and Sasuke himself is still a traitor. Why do you say that, Naruto? In our penultimate clash of attacks I saw it. Sasuke no longer just wanted to knock me out, he wanted to kill me. He used more power in the Chidori to pierce my Rasengan and pierce me at the same time. If it weren't for me doing the same thing, I could be dead now. He would express all of this while looking directly into Jiraiya's eyes, daring to contradict him. The latter could only accept that his student was right. Another thing that surpasses me, accepting the reality of things, were Jiraiya's thoughts, because it took him years to accept that the Orochimaru with whom he was a teammate no longer existed. And only the traitor and the monster remained, who was able to use small children for his experiments. But all that reflection stopped when the Umbu Nico appeared in a shunshin. The genin Naruto Uzumaki is asked to appear before the council room, he would say monotonously. You know you don't have to treat me like that, right? Nachan, I would say it with fun, Naruto. Umbu just shook his head. I'm on duty, Naruto. You can't just act casually. I have to be professional. Bah. How boring you are, Nachan. I bet Inu would treat me better. Nico couldn't be seen through the mask, but his eyebrow was trembling. You will be. So the Umbu faded away with Shunshin before he killed the little impertinent. Well, get ready, Naruto. Let's see what the council want. Naruto just looked at Jiraiya blankly, and then responded. There is a small, very small problem with that arrow Sennin. Yes, which one? Dash. I don't have clothes. Naruto would scream so loudly that even in the council room that scream could be heard. I think they should get something for the boy, so Minazuka would say. Agreed. I would express the entire shinobi part of the council. Why should we get clothes for the brat? The civil counselor would ask angrily. Unless you want to see him naked while we talk to him, there is no problem, but I would consider taking a psychological exam. Inoichi Yamanaka, the leader of said clan, would speak. 30 minutes later under. Naruto could be seen in front of the Konoha Council, dressed in black pants, a long-sleeved shirt of the same color, and his Ida I-8 tied around his neck. The Konoha Council was made up of the Hokage, advisory elders, clan leaders, and the village's most important merchants. Genin Naruto Uzumaki, do you know why we sent for you? Tsunade would say it with her hands crossed in front of her face. The truth is that no. I've only been awake for a day in the hospital, and I still haven't fully healed. You are here to give your part of the mission report, since you met Sasuke near the border with Range Tsunade. Well, as you know, the recovery team had been chasing the Odo ninja for a while, We had complications facing them, but my team stayed behind so I could catch up with Sasuke Uchiha. Why did they choose you to continue with the mission? Hayashi Hyuga would ask. Because I was the closest to Sasuke, because I was his teammate, and we hoped to make him see reason without the need for a fight. That's why I was the chosen one. I understand, young Uzumaki. Sorry for the interruption. You can continue. Everything culminated in the Valley of the End. Before starting a fight, I tried to talk to Sasuke to make him see reason and return peacefully to Konoha. I guess it didn't work. You're right, Shikaku. It doesn't work. The Uchiha started a lethal attack on me. How do you know if it was lethal and not just to knock you out? A civilian counselor who hates Naruto would ask. Naruto just took off his ninja band from around his neck and put it on the table. Everyone on the council first got scared, believing that Naruto was going to defect too. But that fear turned to confusion when Naruto also began to take off his shirt. Was he going to get naked? But something that the women in the room had to accept is that Naruto, despite being a 13-year-old boy, had a good body, nothing too drastic as an adult, but he had a good body. But that ended when they looked at Naruto's chest area, specifically his heart, because there he had a scar the size of a fist. This is why I say it, his first attack was a Chidori, an assassination technique if I remember Kakashi-sensei's explanation correctly, and it pierced my chest as you can see. The only reason I'm alive, and not at the bottom of the dead river, was because the Kyuubi healed my wound. You dare to thank that beast? A woman from the civil council exclaimed angrily, because she lost her husband in the attack 13 years ago. Yes, because thanks to him I am still alive. Thanks to that beast I have not died, and thanks to that beast I can be here in front of you giving my report, Naruto would say, angry with the counselor, looking directly into her eyes, making her look the same. I recoiled from the intensity that was in that look. Naruto, please finish your report, and the next one who interrupts will be removed from the room, Tsunade. Well, after the initial attack I defended myself. At the beginning it was an even battle, leaning towards the Uchiha side due to his Sharingan. But I could keep up with him, until he used his Phase 2 curse mark to confront me. So I found myself in the need to use the power of the Kyuubi, where in the end I ended up obtaining victory. This is how his report would end. I still have a doubt. The one who would speak this time would be Danzo the War Falcon. And what would that doubt be? Naruto, what technique did you use to knock out the Uchiha? According to the medical report, he had a hematoma in the solar plexus, but it was as if he had been punched with a twist. That's not important, Danzo. The point is that the boy won. That's all. The one who would speak this time would be Jiraiya. How unimportant? Was it a new jutsu perhaps? None of that. It was just a very small Rasengan. That's all Naruto would express. That. Before Danzo continued his interrogation, Tsunade intervened. Enough, Danzo. You have your answer. It was a Rasengan and that's it. Danzo could only clench his staff and contain his rage. Without further ado, you have the right to leave, Naruto. Rest? Yes, ma'am. So Naruto walked home, because right now he wanted to rest. But something stopped him and he saw a burly man, tightly grabbing the hand of Rikane, one of the prostitutes of the red light district. He knew that he was too tired for a direct confrontation and couldn't throw a kunai without fear of killing the guy. So he grabbed a rock and, remembering his new attack, he spun the rock like the Rasengan and then threw it towards the man, who at the same time receiving the attack he fell to the floor dazed. I thought I heard that Rika said no. Don't go where they don't call you a brat. So do you want to fight? The man, knowing that facing Naruto was useless, better left, to avoid receiving humiliation. Oh my dear Naruto-chan, always defending your beloved Wani-sama. What have we done to deserve such a great younger brother? Rika would say while hugging Naruto and putting him between her breasts. You guys took care of me when I was younger. I'm just returning the favor, Ne-sama. My beloved Naruto-chan. Your Ne-samas adore you. Me too, Rikane. But I want to go home to rest. Oh right, you just left the hospital and returned from a mission. Well, go easy. I'll tell the rest that you're fine. You had us worried. Thank you, Ne-chan. So Naruto went straight to his apartment, willing to lie in bed and not wake up for a week. But before going to sleep, I had to think about something important. What would you call your new attack? Or is it technical? It's a technique, and you should call it twist. Kyuubi? Why are you helping me? And why do I turn? You said that if you helped, they would defeat the Uchiha in my honor. You kept your promise, so I could help you with something as trivial as naming a technique. Why do I turn? Because that is what your technique does. Spinning something at high speed, thus increasing its speed and attack strength. Thank you, Kyuubi, and so Naruto fell asleep because he had already run out of energy. You're welcome, kid. Unbeknownst to Naruto, Danzo was angry at Root's secret base because they continued to treat the Jinchuriki like a brat, instead of training him to be Konoha's weapon. But that doesn't matter because he already has a plan in place, and finally the Kyuubi would be his. It had been 3 more days since Naruto had to give his mission report, and today the rookie teams, minus Sasuke and the hospitalized ones, were gathered in a training field. Naruto was next to Shikamaru watching the clouds. Ino was chatting with Tintin and Hinata. Lee was doing squats and Shino was looking at some insects. Sakura was silent. She knew that this meeting was to talk about the mission. But no one wanted to talk, or no one had brought up the subject. Naruto, thank you for bringing Sasuke-ku in. Sakura. No, I didn't. Naruto, what do you mean? I know that he is in custody for trying to escape, but surely soon we will be a team again. That's why I say it, Sakura. Everyone was surprised that he didn't put the Chan at the end of the name. That meant that Naruto was serious. I didn't bring our teammate. I brought back the traitor. With that sentence, the clearing remained silent. None of those present expected Naruto to express himself in that way. Naruto, I know that Sasuke-kun was wrong, but it's Orochimaru's fault. He forced Sasuke. Lie. Naruto shouted, silencing Sakura. Orochimaru didn't force Sasuke to do anything. He wasn't there when they took him. He didn't kidnap him. He left of his own free will. But, he was being manipulated, if he tempted him. Exactly, he was tempted, but it was Sasuke's fault for letting himself be carried away by that temptation. Kakashi-sensei could have talked about it with the old Hokage when he was alive. Go to Yamanaka for a psychology service. By hell, he could have even come to talk to us. But he didn't do it. I prefer to leave and fall into temptation. But he is our teammate. The same teammate who tried to kill me. How are you so sure? For this, thus taking off the blue shirt he had on. The day Jiraiya got him the clothes, he got him several of the same set. You could see the scar on his chest. Everyone in the clearing remained silent and scared, never expecting that Sasuke had actually tried to kill Naruto. The most affected was Sakura. Until now, she refused to see that Sasuke had betrayed the village of his own free will. But, Sakura, enough. Naruto is right. Sasuke became a traitor. Sakura could only look at Ino with tears in her eyes. She never expected that she would be the one to condemn Sasuke to a traitor. What did you expect from me to support him? The Yamanaka would ask seriously. Sakura, as much as I liked Sasuke, I can't see it any other way. How would you like it? Sakura, do you really think that he would continue pursuing the person responsible for Choji being hospitalized, and not only him, but the rest of the recovery team as well? They were all at death's door when they arrived at the hospital. The only reason they survived was because we had Tsunade-sama. But it wasn't Sasuke's fault. Orochimaru manipulated him. He used his weakness against him. He just let himself go. We can forgive him. Make him redeem himself. Sakura, shut up, Naruto would yell at her, already tired of his teammate's attitude. But, Naruto. But nothing. You know that this is a temptation, he would express to deconcentrate chakra in his abdomen, and the seal of the 8 trigrams would come out. Naruto, what is that seal? I use them to store my weapons, but I have never seen one so complex. I would say in amazement, Tintin, for such a complex seal. Thanks for asking. Tell me you know about the Kyuubi attack 13 years ago. That the Yondaime Ho, Oka, G murdered the fox. Hinata would express it with her typical stutter. Mistake. The Bijus cannot be killed. They are chakra with consciousness. If the Yondaime had really killed him, he would have already reappeared in the whirl. So what did you do with him? Ino sealed it. She sealed it in a newborn baby that day. The clearing became silent again. Everyone already understood where Naruto was going. Naruto. Yes, Shikamaru. I am Zoro's container. But where are you going with all this, Naruto? Ino. That's what I was saying. The younger generation didn't know the fact that I possessed the fox, but the older generation did. Because of that, I was mistreated. They may never have hit me or tried to abuse me, But they did something much worse. What could be worse? They denied my existence, Lee. Maybe they never physically hit me, but they did it in other ways, denying my existence, denying the fact that I was among them. They denied me, my name, my soul. They denied the fact that And because of that, for a while, I hated the village. That made everyone open their eyes. They never expected those words to come out of Naruto's mouth. For a time, I wanted to destroy the village and force it to die so that it would be forgotten. Force the world to forget the village of Konoha, and that in the future no one will even remember that it existed. Those words filled everyone with fear. The image they had of Naruto was dissolving with those words. Where is the happy, joking boy they knew? Due to that feeling that the QB had at the time, he tempted me to do it. At that time I didn't know that I had the QB sealed inside me, but he whispered to me to do it, to make them pay for all the pain I was going through. To destroy the village and not look back. What stopped you? It was the Sandaime. He stopped me in the simplest, but most effective way he had. Which? Recognizing myself, recognizing that I existed, and being willing to be there for me. Because of him, and a promise I made him, is that I did not destroy the village. Do you want to know which one it was? Everyone just nodded. That would give the younger generation a chance. That is us, Shikamaru. Not only you, but I would give all those who were not adults the opportunity to show that they were worth it, that they were different. Do you know what conclusion I came to? That the younger generation does not deserve my hatred. They do not deserve that I hurt them. No son has to pay for the sins of the father. That once again destroyed the image that everyone had of Naruto. He was not the childish and immature Naruto. Was this a new facet of Naruto? Or was he always like this, but they never had the opportunity to really know him? That's why I want to become Hokage. So that no child is abandoned like I was. So that no child suffers like I suffered. And so that no child within the village of Konohagakure, no Sato loses hope like I once did. They already had their challenge. This was the real Naruto. Only none of them knew him. Ino, Tenten, and Hinata looked at Naruto in another way. They could no longer see a child in front of them. In their eyes, Naruto was much more mature than them, and perhaps that was why he acted so immature, trying to recover his childhood that was taken from him. Lee could only cry tears at Naruto's words, recognizing the incredible willpower he possessed. He was sure that not even the most powerful Hokage could withstand such torture. Shino was just silent, analyzing Naruto's words, and thus increasing his respect for the red-haired boy in front of him. Shikamaru could only think in silence about the words his father said to him that day. Flashback, 5 years ago. And how did it go at Shika Academy? Yoshino Nara, the matriarch of the Nara clan, would ask. *TSK, it was a pain. First Ino and a girl named Sakura kept shouting about who was prettier to be Sasuke Uchiha's girlfriend. Afterwards I can't sleep because the sensei woke me up all the time, and as if that weren't enough there was a boy, named Naruto, I think, who kept shouting that he was going to be Hokage one day. I wouldn't take it so lightly. Shikamaru, the one who would speak this time, was Shikaka Nara, Shikamaru's father and patriarch of the Nara clan. Oh come on, you don't really think the boy is going to become Hokage, do you? Whether he is going to do it or not, I don't have the answer to that, but I know the boy, not personally, but the boy has great potential, and if he can exploit it one day, we could be facing the greatest Hokage of our village, even more than the Shodaime. The Nara patriarch would seriously end. Both Yoshino and Shikamaru remained silent. The fact that those words came from their father and husband, respectively, left them stunned. If Shikaka Nara was recognized for something apart from being a strategic genius, it was for his ability to recognize potential in people. So I would try to become friends with the boy Shikamaru, and thus you would have the favor of a Hokage in the future, the Nara patriarch would say jokingly to lighten the atmosphere a little. You know something, Ol? What? I would ask with a raised eyebrow. If Naruto becomes Hokage, I myself will become his personal advisor and right-hand man. What are you saying? Ha 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 ha. Fin flashback. Shikamaru finally realized that his father didn't just say those words for the sake of saying them. He saw the same potential that his father saw himself, here and now. *TSK, shitty old man. Now I will most likely have to be this airhead's main advisor in the future. What a bummer. In the end, Sakura didn't recognize her teammate. Where is he to console her and tell her that she was the prettiest? To tell him that everything would be okay? She wanted it right now. You're not Naruto. Naruto wouldn't talk like that. He wouldn't act like that. He wouldn't say those things about the village. I want to have it back because you're not the... Yes, I am. I'm just the part you never wanted to see, Sakura. Lie. Naruto would forgive Sasuke and understand that it was Orochimaru who controlled him. Sakura, answer the following question. If by some chance the Kyuubi will take control over my body and stab you in your heart, and you survived, would you forgive me? Sakura could only start crying. Why was this happening? Why was Naruto against Sasuke? Why didn't anyone understand that he was manipulated? Why was Naruto asking him such difficult questions? At this moment, Sakura could only do one thing, and that was run home and go into her room to cry and vent all this pain she was feeling. Naruto could only sigh. He didn't want to treat Sakura like that, but it was necessary, so that she would understand why she couldn't forgive Sasuke. Don't you think you were a little harsh, Naruto? I really don't know, Ino. I just hope not, and that this helps Sakura wake up and open her eyes. If she doesn't do it now, maybe she never would, or when she does it will be too late. At the same time elsewhere. The Konohagakure Shinobi trial room was a room with 3 long U-shaped tables. In the middle sits the accused surrounded by 2 umbus. Currently in the room there are Koharpe Udatane, Homura Mitokado, Danzo Shimura, Council of Elders, Hayashi Hyuga, Shikaka Nara, Shibi Aburame, Suma Izuka, Choza Akimichi, Inoichi Yamanaka, Clan Council, Y Tsunade Sinjala Hokage, Sasuke Uchiha, Genin of Konohagakure no Sato, registration number 012587. Today we are gathered here to judge you for the following crimes: high treason, deserting the village, not reporting the fact that we had spies within the village, trying to ally with Orochimaru of the Sannin, and as a last assassination attempt against a fellow shinobi, Tsunade. How do you declare yourself? Seeing that the boy did not answer, Tsunade gave a signal to make Sasuke speak. So Umbu hit him on the head. The Hokage is talking to you, and when he asks you something you answer. Sasuke just looked at Umbu with hatred. I plead innocent. How dare you? You fucking brat. Tsu. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama. I'm a little emotional because my son is still hospitalized. Your emotions are understandable, Tsum, but please control them. See, Hokage-sama. Okay, now Sasuke Uchiha, with what evidence do you declare your innocence? I don't need any proof. I am innocent because everything I did was for the greater good. Now that made even Danzo raise an eyebrow. And could you explain to us what was the greater good for which you committed all those crimes? Tsunade would say sarcastically. To gain power and kill Itachi. Can? If I can, he would say so sure of himself. Are you an idiot? Just for power are you willing to sacrifice and almost murder a fellow shinobi? Yes. Is it that they don't understand it? I need the power to avenge my clan, to do justice to all those innocent people that the murderer did. What do I care if he stepped on one or another insect along the way? Everything will be for a greater good. Everyone was looking directly at Sasuke, one or another insect. Tsunade had to take a few breaths. She was about to kill the brat if she didn't control herself. Then why escape? Huh. I ask again, why escape? We are in the strongest shinobi village, where there are many shinobi who can match Orochimaru, if not surpass him. But even with all that you escaped, I don't believe it. That wasn't the reason. I want you to tell me the truth of your own free will, or I will have Inoichi search your head for the truth. F.P. It. Sup. I ask you to please say it louder. It was because he was surpassing me. It was because he was overshadowing me. It was because he is stronger than me. Happy? Who is he? The one who spoke this time was Shikaku. He already had an idea of who he is. Naruto. Naruto. Damn Naruto. Who dared to challenge me, and not only that but surpass me. To me, the Avenger, the last Uchiha, the genius. But that damn loser dared to do it. First against Zabuza, he was the one who devised the plan to make Kakashi escape from Zabuza's technique. Then he defeated the Umbu that accompanied Zabuza, defeats the red-haired girl who almost killed me in the invasion, and as if that were not enough, he dared to make Itachi see him as a greater rival than me. Do you hate him? This time it was Tsum who asked. Yeah, I hate him just like I hate Itachi. That's why I tried to kill him, so that he wouldn't surpass me anymore. Sasuke finished with the greatest venom he could release. Take out Uchiha while we deliberate. So the two Umbus escorted Sasuke out of the room. I say that we declare him guilty. The first to speak out was Tsum. I'm the same, but someone from my clan should also do a psychological checkup, Inoichi. I also say guilty, Shikaku, and thus each clan head declared the Uchiha guilty. Koharu and Hamura didn't like where this was going. If everyone found the Uchiha guilty, they could execute him. Then what should be the Uchiha's punishment? Danzo asked seriously. Danzo. Don't be surprised, Koharu. It is true that the Uchiha boy has potential, but he is a walking bomb, which at any moment can explode against us. I almost killed the village Jinchuriki, and I remind you that right now we need all the strength we can have. But because of the boy, we almost lost our best deterrent. But nothing about Hamura. It is true that we have to take care of the future of the Uchiha clan, but it is more important to take care of the future of the town as a whole. He almost murdered the Jinchuriki. Why? Because of some stupid jealousy I felt towards the growth of a fellow shinobi. Instead of taking it as a challenge to Super, I preferred to kill him before he became stronger. As the boy put it very well when he gave his mission report, he only survived because he had the QB inside. What will happen the next time someone surpasses him and is a Konoha shinobi? Will he also try to murder him? What if one of those who surpasses it is a clan heir? I'm not going to jeopardize the future of the village just because of a child. Tsunade just crossed her hands in front of her face seriously, thinking about Danzo's words. Even though she doesn't like the old war hawk, she was right. She couldn't and didn't want to jeopardize the future of the village just for the boy. Umbus bring Uchiha Sasuke. Thus, obeying the Hokage, the two Umbu made the Uchiha enter the room again. Sasuke Uchiha, Genin of Konohagakure no Sato. You have been found guilty of all the crimes, and normally you would be executed for those crimes. But due to being the last living Uchiha within Konoha, you will be given another punishment. Your chakra will be sealed. Stop, wait, you can't do that, the Uchiha would shout in fear. I can and I do, brat. I am your Hokage. Apart from that, you will be imprisoned for a year in the Umbu prison, where you will be forced to take psychological sessions. You will be prohibited from joining the shinobi system again. No, they can't do this. Umbus, take him away. Wait, no. I'll have my revenge. I'll destroy this village too. I'll take my revenge. Thus Sasuke was dragged to the Umbu prison. Tsunade. I am Hokage-sama for you, Hamura. Remember it well if you do not want to accompany the Uchiha in his confinement. Hokage-sama, don't you think it's a very excessive punishment? No, now everyone out. So almost everyone left the room. I remember telling everyone to leave. Danzo. Yes, despite my age I listen very well, Tsunade. Then why are you still here? To give you this, and now I'm leaving. Giving Tsunade a letter with the Fire Daimyo's seal. Tsunade started to read it, but she didn't know because she had a bad feeling. Midnight Hokage office owner. Inside the Hokage office were Tsunade, Jiraiya y Shizen. The three were quiet and very serious, waiting for Naruto, who was called by a toad summon. That silence was broken when the door was heard opening and closing. Naruto had already arrived. I'm here, Ero Sennin. Don't you think it's a little late? I was already? What's wrong? Why those faces? Naruto, sit down, we have to talk. Well, Naruto obeyed and sat in one of the chairs and stared at Tsunade, who was speaking to him. Today, we had the trial of Sasuke Uchiha. He was found guilty and is receiving his appropriate punishment. Sai Naruto could only sigh sadly. Deep down he wanted to get his friend back, but he sees that he no longer exists. Maybe he never existed. Continue. Well, I won't go into the details of the trial or the punishment because it is not important for the discussion. But after the discussion was over, the old man Danzo Shimura gave me a letter with the daimyo seal. And what did the letter have? An order where you were forced to be trained by the old man Shimura. But what's wrong with it? I say it's more training. Isn't that good? No, not with Danzo. What do you mean by that, Ero Sennin? Naruto, Danzo is the founder of Root, a subdivision of Umbu. At first you would believe that that is not bad, right? Naruto just nodded. And you would be right. As such, it would not be bad at all. The bad thing is the type of training he would have. Danzo's training is about eliminating the feelings of an individual completely who has no voice or criteria of his own. His only will is to listen to his master's words. And do I have to receive that type of training? And what if I refuse? You will be killed, so that the QB can be placed in a new child to be trained from scratch. Then I have to choose between my free will and my life. There is still a third option. And would it be that you would escape from Konoha? That made Naruto open his eyes wide. What are you crazy, Bachan? That would turn me into a nuclear ninja and Naruto was hyperventilating by this point. He didn't know what else to say. Tsunade just stood up from her seat and went straight to Naruto and hugged him, giving him the comfort he needed at this moment. Now, everything will be fine. How do you want everything to be okay if you're trying to get rid of me? Naruto would say between sobs. Tsunade could only cry with Naruto. Here was her child crying, and she couldn't consciously tell him that everything was okay or that it would be in the near future. I don't want to get rid of you, Naruto, but I don't want to see you dead or worse yet, turned into a zombie. Because I love you so much. And because I love you, I ask you to go and live free, so that maybe one day in the future we will see each other. But I don't want to leave Bachan. I know it, my boy. I know it. But I ask you, please go away and try to be happy. For me, promise, Naruto. Promise that you will leave, but you will try to be happy wherever you go. I promise you, Bachan. Naruto would cry. He's barely getting a family and he's already losing one. Tsunade only managed to hug Naruto tighter. No matter how much she was asking him to leave, she didn't want to let him go. Everything was for him to bother her every day that he wants a mission, to come visit her just to find out how is her day, help her hide her sake, or just call her Bachan every day. Shizen couldn't take it anymore and joined the hug crying. She's about to lose her brother. Tsunade, please, you have to put yourself together. We have to get Naruto ready to leave. Yes, I'm coming. But what about my friends? What do they think of me? That doesn't matter now. What matters most at this moment is your safety and that you are not unprotected. And for that we prepared this scroll that has everything from ninjutsu, taijutsu, and kenjutsu styles. And some letters that the Sandaime left you. What do they have inside? I couldn't tell you that, Naruto. When you read it you will know. I'm going to remove you from the Toad contract. Wait, what? Because reverse summoning. Just as one is able to summon, our summons can invite us. That is why I am going to remove you from the Toad's contract. No matter where you run away to, they can always force me to summon you in reverse. It's okay, Erosenin. I understand it. But since the Toads know about our plan, they sent you more things from which you can learn. Be careful with that, Naruto, and don't get crazy. These abilities can kill you. Good. I need you to do a Bushin. You need to buy yourself as much time as possible. So Naruto, using his iconic jutsu, created a Kage Bushin. Jiraiya began to write seals on the Bushin's shoulder and knee area. These seals are so that your Bushin can withstand more hits and not fade the first time, but they also cannot withstand the same type of punishment as you. Ready? Go home and continue sleeping. So the clone listened and went home, which he would see for the last time. Now we have to go. Let's go to the exit. Unish Konoha South Gates. At the doors we can see Naruto hugging Tsunade and Shizen, not knowing that it may be the last time they see each other. When they finally let go, Tsunade alone could wish Naruto luck and give Jiraiya the space to say goodbye. Well, boy, this is the end of our trip. Although short, it was fun, right? Naruto could only smile and nod. His trip was very fun. But all good things come to an end. Or maybe it's the beginning of something even bigger. Who knows? Certainly the future is a mystery. If the biggest mystery, listen boy, in my life I have made a lot of mistakes and in too many different ways. But you know, what is one of those things that I will never regret? Naruto just shook his head. It was having known you and trained you, boy. I want you to know that I am proud of you. Never forget, Naruto. You are my greatest pride. Now go before I start crying. Naruto just hugged Jiraiya to start running and leave as fast as he could. Next morning sir. We can see how inside Naruto's apartment the clone was sleeping or pretending to sleep. He was reflecting on his current situation. He became a nuclear ninja and had to abandon everything he had, even his dream, just to be able to live freely. All that reflection ended when there was a knock on the door, and already knowing who it was, he opened it. He was not surprised when two umbus were the ones who were playing. What did surprise him were the masks did not have paint representing an animal. They only had the initials NE. Naruto Uzumaki, please come with us. Just with his tone of voice, he already understood what Jiraiya was telling him. They sounded emotionless. Not only controlling his emotions, he knew the difference, having lived with Nikone-chan for too long to notice the differences. Of course, thus with a shunshin towards an entrance in a forest. He didn't recognize where he was. Follow us. Opening a door leading Naruto through passageways until he reached what looked like an office door. One of the umbu knocked on the door listening to the ahead, thus entering the office. It was a small room, with only a desk and a chair where Danzo was sitting. Welcome, young Uzumaki. I hope you are comfortable. I would express it in such an apathetic way that it seemed like sarcasm without being sarcasm. The truth is that it is not bad, but I would have had at least one plant. You're very joking, right? Someone has to be, otherwise this world would be boring. Danzo just frowned. The boy responded without any kind of respect. I don't believe that. I believe that everyone should be able to control their emotions and not get carried away by them. If it were up to me, they wouldn't exist. Then you wouldn't exist. The umbus were about to take out their weapons to kill the brat for threatening Danzo, but he himself stopped them with a hand signal. What do you mean by that, young Uzumaki? If we existed in a world without emotions, you, I, and even the two umbu present here would not exist. If you talk about love? No. Yes, I'm not referring to love. He talked about lust. I recognize that there are people who have children without loving each other, but why does that happen? Easy lust. Without lust there can be no sex, and without sex there is no reproduction, and without reproduction we would become extinct. Very good reflection, young Uzumaki, but one way or another we can solve that. True, but life would lose flavor, don't you think? Danzo could only shake his head. He was about to use the Kotoame Tsukimi on the boy to control him and begin his training. He was trying to use it on the daimyo, but in the end he only used a low-level genjutsu to obtain his seal. That doesn't matter. Get ready to start your training, boy. Before that, can I say something? Danzo just frowned again. This brat was already exasperating him, but he was going to give him this last thing. Of course. In the mission report you asked if I had a new technique. Are you going to tell me what it is? Yes, but first I'm going to tell you his name. I just thought about what to call him. Is that okay with you? Of course, young Uzumaki. Surprise me. Thus Naruto raised his right hand where he had a seal tattooed on his hand. But not just any seal, but an explosive one. Golden Ratio. Danzo had little time to react. As soon as the boy finished speaking, a giant and very strong explosion began. His strength was so great that it shook all of Konoha to its foundations. 15 minutes ago on Earth. You can see Jiraiya and Tsunade in the Hokage office. The two were silent. Tsunade sitting on the Hokage chair and Jiraiya on the couch inside the office. Did we do the right thing? It depends on Tsunade. If we talk about the fact that we betrayed the village and put our feelings on its well-being. No, Tsunade, as shinobi we fail. But as human beings and godparents of the child we did the right thing. For the first time in his life we put him first. We failed the child too much by leaving him alone in his childhood, and excusing ourselves with our pain and loss, leaving the child relegated, when he should have been our priority. I just hope that with this, at least he can be happy, and if at the end of his life, he is not in Konoha but he was happy and free. Believe me, Tsunade, I would go through the worst of hell if it meant that boy had that end. Yes, me too. Silence fell again inside the office. But all that was disturbed by the sound of the explosion and the tremor that reached the village. Umbus, follow me. You too, Jiraiya. I'm already behind you, Tsunade, he would say as he jumped directly towards where the epicenter of the explosion was. In a large crater, Danzo was very badly injured, not to endanger his life, but to further limit his mobility. Danzo at this time was angry with the damned Uzumaki. He deceived him and his umbu, making himself immolate and in the process destroying their northeast bases and killing all their agents present. If it was not enough, he had to sacrifice the eye of Shisui Uchiha, and with that the Kotoame Tsukimi, to use Izanagi and save his life. But despite all his rage, he fell unconscious. His age plus his injuries, and the fact that Izanagi was used without his right arm made him wear out too much. And when he woke up, it would be too late to look for Naruto. We can see Naruto walking along a path while he was eating a bread. Damn, I already left the village, and I can't go back. Now that, they were Naruto's thoughts until. What the fuck? He screamed loudly. He didn't know how he has the memories of what his clone did. Your clone Shine Kid, and I like the name the Golden Ratio gave it. It doesn't sound intimidating, but it sounds good. You're worried about the name. I'm more worried about how I got his memories. I have a theory that clones have the ability to return the memories they obtained to the original. I already realized that. What surprises me is that until now I realized that. Maybe it's because whenever you use them, it's only for one goal in mind and multiple tasks. You are very talkative with me, QB. It's boring being in here. Plus I feel like something big is coming and I don't want to lose it. Of course. You are not going to read the letters that the pervert told you about. Do you think we are far enough from Konoha? Yes. Also with the explosion, it is very unlikely that they will chase you for at least a week. Well, let's read them then. Hiruzen. Naruto, my boy, there are so many things that I would like to tell you and be able to do with you. Give you your Chunin vest, or even the Jounin. Watch you become the greatest Kage. But I have a feeling I won't live for long. And that is why I want to start this letter apologizing to you. I failed in many ways with you, hiding the fact that I was a Jinchuriki and hiding the fact that I know who your parents were. Yes, Naruto, I knew. Your parents were Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, and Kushina Uzumaki, the princess of Yuzu no Kuni. I never told you the truth. It was out of weakness. I have no real excuses. I could justify myself and say it was to protect you. But I would be lying to you. I did it out of fear. At first, it was out of fear of your hatred for the village. I was afraid that this would be your last impulse that would lead you to leave the village or destroy it. But then I was afraid of your reaction, not with the village, but towards our relationship. I was afraid that you would break our ties and stop seeing me as your grandfather. There is no written way to describe my regret for my cowardly actions, but I don't care about that now. I don't care if you forgive me or decide to hate me. I'm not going to stop you. The only thing I ask of you is that you do not vent your fury against Konohamaru. He is innocent of all this. I don't know if I will see you again, but I want you to know that if I did, I would tell you the whole truth. I don't know if you believe me, but I hope you know that this is the absolute truth. Without further ado, Hiruzen Sarutobi, your grandfather. Naruto held Hiruzen's letter in his shaking hands. He didn't know how to feel. He had a sea of emotions ranging from anger, hatred, sadness, pain, and even regret. He didn't know what to do, and there was only one thing he could do: cry silent tears. How many times did I ask the old man who his parents were? And how many times did he lie to her face? Damn shitty old man. Damn Hiruzen Sarutobi, and damn Grandpa. As much as he wants to hate him, he can't. Not because he's his former Hokage. He just can't hate him because he was his grandfather, and despite all his mistakes, he tried to redeem himself in the end. That doesn't mean you'll forgive him. Minato. Hello, Naruto. I don't know if you already know this information, but I am your father. The truth is that I have something to write to you. So much so that I insist that my mother write these letters, and now I have nothing. I can only hope that these letters never have to be opened, and that your mother and I are by your side. But I don't know the future. Even being one of the strongest shinobi of the current era, I don't know if I can stay alive to see you grow and accompany you in life. The truth is I would like to be there to teach you and guide you in life. But if you read this, it means that I am not by your side. And if that happens, I want to apologize for not being able to be by your side. But I want you to know that I love you with all my being. One of the happiest moments of my life was when Kushina told me she was pregnant. I felt so much joy that I couldn't contain myself and cry with happiness. I don't know what direction your life took, but I want you to know that no matter what path you take, I will be proud of it, and I can only ask that you be happy. With nothing more to say to you, Dad says goodbye. Today was a day of a lot of crying. Naruto had the letter wet from crying so much while he read it. He always wanted to hear that your dad is proud of you, and that he loves you no matter what. But why don't I explain why I seal the QB inside him? Maybe the letters were written before your birthday, and the Minato and Kushina at that time did not know the tragedy that was going to befall them. I say again that you have been very talkative lately, QB. Don't tell me that you already like me? Damn brat. It's not your problem and you don't care. I'm going to talk all I want. I don't care. I thank you for accompanying me in these moments, Kyubi. I do it because I have no choice. I'm sealed inside you, brat. Ha ha ha. Yes, what you say, Kyubi. Kyubi just closed his eyes and lay down. He didn't want to talk anymore. Okay, now let's go to the last letter. Kushina. Hello, Sochi. How are you? It's me, Mom. I tell your father that these letters are not necessary. Nothing bad is going to happen. But not him. We have to be prepared. I will teach him what it means to be prepared. Well, that doesn't matter. This letter is not for him. It is for you, Sochi, and that is why I am going to advise you now, if you ever open this letter. First, women. In this world, there are men and women. There are both good and bad, regardless of sex, ethnicity, or beliefs. And that's why I tell you, love whoever you want. But when you find a partner, treat her well and with care. But don't let yourself be abused either. Better get yourself one that looks like your mother, a sexy, very fiery redhead, so that they give me many grandchildren and start a revolution against the world, ha 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 ha. Well, Mom was very clear about things. No, she would say it with a bead of sweat on her forehead just like the Kyubi. She knew that Kushina was a little crazy. Alcohol and money. Do not drink before you are 21. It could harm your growth, and do not ask or lend money. The truth is that it is not very important, and it is more of an advice that I give you so that you can take care of yourself, both physically and mentally. But if there is something that I do want you to know, it is that I love you. I love you with all my being. There is so much love that I feel for you that I don't know how to describe it. It is a love so deep and unique that I don't know how to express it, but I can only tell you that it is the love of a mother towards her child. I'm not going to ask you much in this letter, just that you be happy and live free. Let nothing stop you. Go and live your life as you please, but be happy. I don't care if it's inside or outside of Konoha. Remember that this world is giant and it's a big treasure island, with hundreds if not thousands of places to explore. Live your life to the fullest so that at the end of your lives you leave without any regrets. Without further ado, this is a mother's letter to her beloved son. Naruto was crying again, but it was happiness. He finally knew who his parents were and that they loved him with all their being, and only with that could he be happy. But his mother was right. He had the opportunity to be whatever he wanted to be. He doesn't know why, but he feels that it is a brand slogan. Well, it doesn't matter. The point is that his mother was right. This world was an immense treasure island, and he was going to explore it all, to live without limits and die without regrets. He was Naruto Uzumaki, and something is already being unleashed that the world is not prepared for.